So, to be fair, like, we opened some pretty sacky cards. Like, Raigeki Kaiju beats almost any deck. It's especially in this format. That was a hell of a sack, to be honest with you. Alright, let's look at this new stuff. Alright, so Shinonome, Priestess of Valiant. Alright, so Pendulum. Here's the thing about Pendulum. Pendulum needs something pretty specific. They need to be able to get to 2 scales and still make their plays. So one of the most important parts of Pendulum is that they need searchers. They need scales that search. They need monster cards that search. They need to be able to search their cards. That, or they need to ignore the Pendulum mechanic entirely and do something different. It's one or the other. They either exist as Pendulum monsters and like make getting to their scales really easy, or they exist like one of the only good Pendulum decks of old, of 2019, ya boy Endymion, where they just kind of attempt to ignore said mechanic. Aren't Sydra's light machines? Guessing you could do it before you start your keep in mind that no, Sydra's are dark machines. 2 scales and the ability to make a link scale before link 2 before summoning. Yeah. Hey yo, Circuit, nice to see you. It's one of those things where we're just gonna have to see what they're on. Overload Fusion. Oh, so Orcus used to be paired with Cyber Dragon. They don't really... No one really does it anymore, but it was a thing that existed. To be fair, it might still be decent, but who knows. Nice to see you. Yep, nice to see you, love. Alright, let's see these. During your main phase, you can special summon this to your main monster zone. In this card's column. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for Valiant monsters and monsters from your extra deck. Okay. So they Xenolock you. But they don't Xenolock the extra deck, which is pretty nice. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Okay. Add 1 Valiant spell from your deck to your hand. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can add 1 Valiant monster from your deck to your hand, except Shinonome, Priestess of Valiant. Okay. That's interesting. So this is a double searcher, and you can use both of their effects. So that's pretty cool. As long as there's an easy way to move cards. As long as there's an easy way to move this card from one monster zone to another monster zone, in Archetype, that effect is pretty nice, because you essentially just +2 off of this one card. Because you'll always be able to special summon this card. Also, this is interesting application in, unshockingly, Endymion. Endymion loves pen scales that special summon themselves. However, it doesn't have the best application in them. It's only kind of okay, because you are locking yourself into Valiant monsters. Maybe if you were able to, like, early Pendulum summon, maybe if you were, like, able to get an early Pendulum summon of, Mythical Beast. What was it? Mythical Beast Jackal King. Then maybe this would be worth it with Jackal King. Let's just keep in mind the rest of the archetype before we, like, think of this one card. Okay, do they all have that same first clause? Interesting. They don't all have the same clause. However, they all have a similar clause. Low levels have the same pendulum effect, and the high scales have the same one as well, or similar. Are all of your Valiant monsters water? They are. So they can all be special summoned one way or another. Are the extra deck Valiants water? No, they are fire. That is a problem. Oh, these aren't extra deck monsters. These are just Valiant monsters. Okay, that's interesting. Wait, which? Okay. Let's get there as we. There's a field spell. Keep in mind that there's a field spell named Shinra Bancho. There are 2 factions in this deck. Okay. Let's see. If you control this special summoned card, you can target one effect monster on the field, toss a coin. If heads, negate the monster's effect. If tails, its current attack becomes halved. So, this is decent. It'll probably never come up. This guy will probably be used for a body. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can target one card on the field, toss a coin, and if it is heads, destroy that card. If it is tails, return that card to the hand. Is he at least a level 4 water? Super Hershey Bomb? Oh yeah, Super Bomb. Thank you for the thank you for the raid. Holy shit. So at Super okay, they're not in chat yet. That's painful. How did your stream go? Another toss coin effect. Yeah, another oh, thank you, my guy. Thank you, Camelo. Everybody go check out Super Hershey Bomb. I hope I pronounced that right. How did your stream go? Yo. Gao. Alright. So, this card is not really worth it. But it is a free... So, it's not really worth it for its monster effects. However, for its like, level, and just the fact that it's a free summon, it's pretty worth it. Should need to edit something for these now. These cards are weird. They are pretty weird. How does View a Link work? View a Link allows you to send in a link that is 8 minutes or less, and I'll watch it on stream. It was bad but fun. Got wrecked in Pokemon. Damn. Alright. Nazuki. It has the high level... It has the high level one. Alright. Let's see. You can target one monster in the main monster zone. Move it to an adjacent monster zone. So this is a way to proc the effect of Shinonome. Works like this. If this card is moved from a main monster zone to another, you can target one Valiant monster card in your spell trap zone, special summon it to your main monster zone in this card's column. Oh, in its column. Alright, that's interesting. What do you think of Sky Strikers? Red answer only. Oh, thank you for the follow, Super Hershey Bomb. Let's see. What do I think of Sky Strikers? Sky Strikers are okay right now. They're not the greatest deck in the world. They're getting there. They're like one misstep from Konami, from being a like tiered meta threat. They may very well be a tiered meta threat right now. Who knows? This is interesting. The first effect is good. The second effect is slightly better, I suppose. It feels like they can already do that though. Let's see. You can target one... if this card is... You can target one face-up card in the spell and trap card zone, return it to the hand. If this card is moved to another... If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can fusion summon one Valiant's fusion monster from your extra deck. Using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, as well as cards in your pendulum zone. Not bad. Inject that engage straight into my bloodstream. I need that +2. I wish this... I like the fact that this card can fusion summon using your pendulum zones. However, I wish that this card... I wish that it, like... I don't know. That's a hard one. It's kind of eh. Unless there's, like, ways to recycle things, this is kind of an odd effect. What are their scales? You know this. Okay, so this is a scale 1, this is a scale 1, this is a scale 1. I'm gonna guess that this guy's a scale 1 too. Despite it not listing, unless it's, despite it's not listing. New deck builder pack, Valiance, yeah. Okay, do they have any high scales? Well, I'm guessing that these guys may be the high scales, unless they're filled with... Okay, yeah, they have some high scales. This is a fusion monster. Their high scales are fusion monsters? Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Well, no, it's not gonna be. They special summon themselves. Maybe there's a way to get the high scales into the pendulum zones. Let's hope that. Let's see. During your main phase, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone. This card, in this card's column. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for Valiant monsters. And monsters from your extra deck. If you control this special summon card, you can target one other Valiant monster in your main monster zone. Move that target to an adjacent monster zone. If this card is moved from a main monster zone to another zone, you can target one card in your pendulum zone, place it face up in an adjacent spell. Okay, that's really cool. That's interesting. Yeah, this is the generic effect of all Valiants, of all low-level Valiants. If you control this special summoned card, you can place one face-up Valiant's pendulum monster from your extra deck in your face-up spell trap zones as a continuous spell. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, place one face-up Valiant's pendulum monster from your extra deck to in your pendulum zone. It's good enough. It's good enough. Machine Valiants look like Rush Machine bosses. Fair. Let's see. Yeah, it's the fire version of the water effect. During your main phase, you can roll a 6-sided die. Excavate the top of your deck equal to the result. If you do, add one Valiant card to your hand. Also shuffle any remaining back into the deck. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can roll a 6-sided die. Well, I hate the die roll effects. Any other notable archetypes in this deck builder pack? They haven't been announced yet, other than just this one. Special summon one monster card from your spell and trap cards. If the result is 2, 3, 4, or 5, special summon one monster card from your spell and trap card zone to your main monster zone in its column. God, why couldn't this just say if this card is moved to from a monster zone to another, special summon one monster from your spell trap card zone to your main monster zone? Why does it have to have the dice roll effect? Oh, do I still have water? I still have a little bit of water. Thank you, thank you. I hate dice roll effects so much. It makes cards not worth playing. Water. I'll get more water. Let's see. You can target one set card in the spell trap card zone. It cannot be activated this turn. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can target one face-up monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Take control of it, and if you do, it is treated as a Valiant monster. Also, it cannot declare an attack or activate its effects. It's a D&D archetype. It certainly feels like it. Let's see. Valiants assemble. Mamonkasa. Mamonka. Momonaka, or however you pronounce that. It is a fusion pendulum monster. Alright. It has this pendulum effect. During your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Special summon this card to your main monster zone in its column. Move one monster in your main monster zone to an adjacent main monster zone. You can only use one monster effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, quick effect. Target one effect monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Place that monster in your opponent's spell trap card zone in that monster's column face up. As a face up continuous spell. Okay. If a face up card is already in that zone, destroy it. And if you do, destroy if you destroy a monster card in this way, your opponent loses life points equal to its attack. Interesting. Why? If this card is special summoned, if this special summoned card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Okay, so they do not want you to pendulum summon with this deck. Unless the like cards that don't have their scales listed are high scales, it seems like they really don't want you to pendulum summon with this deck, because it is extremely prohibitive to do so. Imagine putting Alistair in the back row, KekW. Let's see. That is really cool. This is the easier one to get out, probably. During your main phase, activate one of these effects. Special summon to your main monster zone in its column. Special summon this card, yeah. Move one monster in your main monster zone to an adjacent main monster zone. Wait. Can you only activate... Oh, you can only use the first effect. Okay. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck, from your face down extra deck by attributing one level 5 or higher non-fusion value. Oh, that's cool. In the same column as an extra monster zone. If this card is special summoned, you can target one monster in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. Return it to the hand. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent. That's so bad. This card doesn't even go to the pendulum zone when it's destroyed. How do you get this card in the pendulum zone? Why is this even a pendulum monster? What is it? Okay, they're not running this card. Like, if they play if this deck sees any play, they're not playing Grand Duke. This card doesn't do anything. You pop a monster card in your opponent's spell trap card zone. Let's see, Valiant's World Shinra Bansho. Oh no, it's a multi-field spell. It's a multi-field spell card deck. When this card resolves, place one Valiant's field spell from your deck face up in your opponent's field zone. What? That's funny, I guess. Except Valiant's World Shinra Bansho. If there are two cards in the field zone, you can target one monster in their spell and trap card zone. The turn player special summons it to their main monster zone in the same column. Let's see. When this card resolves, place one Valiant's field spell, except for, okay. If there are two cards in the field spell zone, the turn player targets one effect monster in their opponent's main monster zone in the same column. Targeted monster... place the targeted monster in its controller's face up spell and trap card zone in the same column as a continuous spell. That's... what the fuck? What's your favorite Salamangreat card? Probably Sunlight Wolf. This is a funny meme deck. This is not the deck that Pendulum needed. There's an interesting mixture of link please? Will do. There's a very interesting mixture of like funny meme and actual good support. So like Hojo, Shinonome, and Baron, and Momonka, Momonaka, and Shinrabansho are all like actually good cards, right? And then like there are a bunch of them like ya boy Scion that aren't. This like Scion and Marquise that come to mind as like actively bad cards.
Rez, when are you going to sleep?
So it's don't forget the Salamangreat Boy Raccoon. The boy Salamangreat Raccoon. It's very interesting. I don't know what to say. I don't know what they were on making it. I've got to be honest with you. Someone just yell at you? Yes. The coin flip isn't even bad, or the dice one. No, it's the idea of we're giving cards effects that are in 2020. Or in 2022, we are giving cards effects that have a chance of resolving, rather than cards that like just despite the fact that we know that cards that have a chance of resolving. What the fuck did I activate? That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing again. Despite the fact that we know cards that do that aren't good. 2, that was an accident. Let me get rid of this. Despite the fact that we know that cards that do that, cards that like only sometimes do the thing you want them to do, are bad, we're still doing it for some reason. And that surprises me, because we know they're bad. Like we've known for quite a bit that cards that don't like cards that require you to flip a coin are bad cards. And yet we're just ignoring that. Like Konami is actively ignoring the fact that that is a thing. Pre-Fa, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it's very strange. Like, I have no idea. Or else Cup of Ace would be played. Yeah, Cup of Ace would be played if flipping a coin to draw 2 cards was like a good effect. But like, I don't think Cup of Ace has ever seen play outside of Taya Burn in Duel Links. Yeah, but like effect negation and half attacks are... Yeah, see, this is the interesting thing. They're not equal effects. They're not equal effects. Effect negation and having the attack of a card are not the same. Empty jar for Cup of Ace. This deck looks very casual. It's meant to be very casual. The guy who made the tournament wanted to keep the game extremely casual. This is a very metagamed deck for a very casual format. Let's go to Live Twins. Sure, let's show off Common Charity. No, let's go to Live Twin. The Common Charity list is not good. Live Lit. No, not Live Lich. Live Twin. Not yours, Valiance. Oh, Valiant? Oh yeah, it's gonna be hella casual. Unless somebody like breaks the deck and finds a way to use it in other decks. The problem is like it's incredibly xenophobic, right? Like, the deck is incredibly xenophobic, and it needs more ways to move cards. And it just doesn't have ways to move cards, you know what I mean? Which is, it's rough. Like, it's really rough not being able to move cards. Whatever the coin lands on can easily do things. Fair. Is this a warrior archetype? Wait, these are spellcasters? Why are these spellcasters? Why couldn't these be warriors? These are spellcasters and machines. It's a multi-archetype deck. Or say multi-type deck. And never occupy the first or fifth column. Sulfur might be interesting. Running the Sulfur link, or the either the Sulfur link or the was it the new Beyond the Pendulum? Those could be good cards for the deck. So there's ways to make the deck playable, but the deck is like actively trying to not be played with other archetypes. You know what I mean? But you're gonna need to run other archetypes, because the deck doesn't have an in-archetypal scale above 1 that we've seen. For some reason, they have not given us the information on 2 of the monsters that have scales. And those 2 specific monsters are not good, so if they have good scales, they're probably going to be run. Because they need good scales. They only have 1 scales at the moment. Oh, they have 2 10 scales, but they're fusion monsters. So I could see like a link spammy deck, or like a link spammy deck that can use these guys as extenders, to like make something cool, because they do a good job of like summoning themselves. But they need a way to do a thing, you know what I mean? Like, they need a way to actually pendulum summon. You can perpetually keep summoning the Valiants with their pendulum scale effects. Aren't the pendulum scale effects only once per turn? Hold up. I feel like this, if that's true, this deck was made to, yeah, this is a once per turn. They all have the claws, the small ones all have the claws of, yeah, they all have the claws of, what's it called, Abyss Actor, Curtain Riser. They all have the Curtain Riser claws. You can only do it once. Okay.